me, Gog and you, Gog this, Gog that. None of that even makes sense. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope that you're having a great day. Thank you so much for being here, for stopping by on this lovely one as we finish out in camera Peter Hammill with the last two tracks. I told you it wouldn't be too long from the previous track, Comet Course Tale. Now it's time for a little Gog and Magog. Sip on what you're sipping on. It's going to be a long one. Whether it's Black Joe coffee or some lemonade, whatever you're sipping on, hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into these final two tracks. So Gog and Magog in Bromine Chambers. Never heard that word, and it's never too late to learn. So let's go ahead and see what bromine or bromine is. Bromine is a naturally occurring element that is a liquid at room temperature. It has a brownish red color with a bleach-like odor, and it dissolves in water. There you go. That's what it is. So how will this relate to the song? There's only one way to find out, and that's by me pulling up the track so we can listen to it. And for me to pull up the track, I gotta really quickly search the album so we can go and listen to it. Okay, Gog. We're gonna start off with that. Let it lead into Magog. We'll talk about it after. Let's dive on in, guys.
Some call me Satan, others have me God. Some name me Nemo. I am unknown.
Love how epic this is already starting off.
Some speak of me in anagrams, some grieve upon my wrath. The ones who give me service, I grant my scorn. My words are too late, never, impossible, and gone. My home is in the sunset and the dawn. My name is locked in silence. Sometimes it's whispered out in spite. All gates are locked, all doors are barred and bolted. There is no place for flight.
So big, that organ. It's just massive.
Will you not come to me? Love me for one more night. Sun see me shining, I see me dull. Gun metal and pajama. I am all. Some swear they see me weeping in the popping fields of France. In the tumbling of the dice. See them fall.
This is absolutely stormy.
See me laughing down the corridors of power. Some see my sign on Caesar and his Paul. My face is robed in darkness. Sometimes you glimpse me in the shade. All friends are gone. All calls are weak and wasted. There is no more to say.
It's very dramatic and almost operatic.
Will you not crawl to me? Love me for one more day.
This is just massive. Can you imagine this live? Kind of jazz touch, huh? Everything is just out of order. Their percussion is chaotic.
Some crave of the infinity. I have none. Some love for me in symbols, some trace my line in stars. Some count my ways in numbers, but I am the one. Some chronicle my movements, my colors, and my clothes.
I love this riddle-like lyric that he's leering. It just totally cleaned up, and now it's back. Intense. Music's like breaking down now. It's like the organ is on Runaway right now. It's just gone. It's something that's so chaotic, and yet at the same time, it has hints of melody. A lot of composition to it. But isn't there kind of this jazzish element to the drumming? Almost like a free jazz kind of element, like a Miles Davis. This part, I know that the band I'm about to say comes later, but it sounds something like Tool would do. So that's Gog, and it's about to go into Magog in bromine chambers. Is this the shipwreck section from Plague of Lighthouse Keepers? I'm trying to picture like where we are. I guess in this chamber. Are they saying I'm gonna cut you one of these days? I don't know what he means. A faint hint of melody, of relief. Almost has like a Vangelis atmosphere, like heaven and hell. It's like bone shaking. I like how with the drums and the percussion in the back, it almost starts a specific kind of rhythm, something to hold on to, but then disperses it immediately. spot a fly? Deep guitar. Some phaser coming through. It's like an elevator going down to the 7th circle of hell. Quick little piano melody. That quick little piano melody. We got 15 seconds. It's gonna be silence. It's gonna be silence. Okay. Gog and Magog. Let me take the headphones off for a second. Let's take the headphones off. Let's talk. Let's talk. How many, look at me. How many of you skipped ahead? How many of you skipped ahead? I know there's like 25% of you that said, this ain't for me. Let's skip ahead to see what JP says. I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you. I'm looking at you. I understand why you skipped ahead. All right, so I don't know where to start. What do we talk about? I've spoken ad nauseum about what I perceive as the genius of Peter Hammill. I think that he is a musical genius in many, many, many ways. I think that he's a poetic genius when it comes to lyrics, when it comes to symbolism. I think musically, he pushes boundaries. Obviously, Van de Graaff Generator pushed boundaries, and he here shows himself to be a big part of that. And you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, right? Art doesn't become art or progress without someone pushing the buttons, pushing the envelope, and trying something new. And as I've sat here on this channel specifically talking about Van de Graaff Generator and Peter Hammill, listening to some of his solo material, I've always been surprised and very impressed with what he creates, what the band creates in both sides of the coin. And I love how, kind of bringing it back down to this, he pushes those boundaries. There are no boundaries. Coloring outside the lines, what lines? You know, like whether you like this or not, I mean, I think this applies really to all music in general, every single type of music, whether you like it or not. You should appreciate it because it pushes. It's someone's art that they're creating and they're putting their self into it. And I don't know, I'm not going to get into this whole thing, but like, it's just a beautiful thing. So with this specific track, these two tracks, if you will, with Gog and Magog, I like how the rest of this album previously was almost like an appetizer, almost like a precursor into this massive epic. in which the boundaries would be pushed even further than they were in the previous tracks, and the experimental nature would come out in full-fledged regalia as it does here. One thing I really appreciate and that I love about this is in listening to these tracks specifically, which could also apply to the rest of the album, but I really feel like I'm just kind of listening to like an audio drama, like an audio storybook in musical form to an extent. So while I don't know what the song is about yet, I do feel it's a little bit hellish. I feel like, I don't know, the first part with Gog is almost typical song in Hammill's fashion. You know, great lyrics, very interesting instrumentation. The organ is massive on here, which I love how that brings, of course, to me, a certain religious connotation, especially with the lyrics and such. And then the percussion is seemingly random, but it's really not. Like, there's an interesting, I feel like maybe half composed, half improvisational nature to it that really just continuously backs up the theme of the music, of Hammill's lyrics and his singing of that massive organ. I just think that that's really interesting. And the song itself, talking about the first part with the Gog, is just this absolute chaotic maelstrom of sounds. It's an onslaught. That is overload. That is overloading your senses and you feeling over-encumbered by this hellish storm. As you move into Magog, I love how it, in a sense, keeps that heart. It's still chaotic. It's still, you know, stormy and swirling, and there's a lot going on. But it takes it from a red hot and turns it down into a blue cool. Whereas it settles things more. You know, like, it's still chaotic. It's still experimental. It's just in a different way. Shine in a different light. And I think that is so cool how we get two different sides of the coin, but still that unifying theme, that unifying nature that he's going for. The second part, to me, it kind of had traces of like it was just reminding me of like Heaven and Hell, Vangelis, maybe a little Tangerine Dreamish in certain parts, but I mean, very unique to Peter Hammill and what he's doing. And as I said during that part, I couldn't help but think of this elevator going down circle by circle by circle of each of the circles of hell. And do you guys remember the movie Cabin in the Woods that came out like, I don't know, a few years ago? Not a few, longer than that. And remember the ending when they're going down the elevator and each level had like this different monster that they were seeing? I was kind of getting that idea, like the elevator would go down, stop, kind of open, and we could glance into this certain circle and we would witness the horrors that were happening there. And then the window would close or door would close and we'd drop down even further. Open again, new horrors unfound. Like, it was just this really interesting deep dive into the dark depths of this. I was trying to make it all come together. Damned dimension. That's good. Keep the alliteration going. So, in the end, I actually really like this. I think that this was really cool to listen to. Yeah, it's not going to be everyday listening for me personally, but I enjoyed the journey, and I think that it succeeds in, as far as I can tell, everything that it really sets out to do. However, we got to look at these lyrics, guys. We gotta dive into this one. We're gonna have to take a dive. Okay. Some call me Satan, others have me God. Some name me Nemo, I am unborn. Some speak to me in anagrams, some grieve upon my wrath. The ones who give me service, I grant my scorn. So, once again, the religious connotations here, and I'm not quite sure who he's supposed to be speaking as, but, I mean, in a way, we are given the answer kind of right away. Some call me Satan, some call me God, some call me this, some call me that. So we're kind of getting this riddle. My words are too late, never, impossible, and gone. As in, his words are like, there's never an opportunity for anything. It's always too late. It's always impossible. Like, it's always putting you down. The opposite of inspirational. Demotivational, I guess. My home is in the sunset and the dawn. Like everywhere. My name is locked in silence. Sometimes it's whispered out of spite. All gates are locked. All doors are barred and bolted. There's no place for flight. Will you not come to me and love me for one more night? Like, yeah, I'm all these negative things, but you still come crawling back to me. Some see me shining, others have me dull. Gunmetal and cut diamond, I am all. Some swear they see me weeping in the poppy fields of France. In the tumbling of the dice, see them fall. Some laugh and see me laughing down the corridors of powers. Some see my sign on Caesar and his pal. My face is robed in darkness. Sometimes you glimpse me in the shade. All friends have gone. All calls are weak and wasted. There is no more to say. Will you not crawl to me and love me for one more day? So I feel like he's representative of either some sort of god or something that's perceived as a god, or he's speaking of some sort of emotion or some sort of facet or idea of an emotion. I don't know. I'm genuinely a little bit lost. But it's kind of fun being lost, honestly, because you get to figure out your own meanings with it. Some wish me empty, some wish me full, some crave me infinity, I am none. Some look for me in symbols, some trace my line in stars, some count my ways in numbers. Well, I am no one. Maybe he's just, because we've gotten it before, maybe he's just saying, like, I am what you worship. He could be anything. You can call him whatever you want. He is that. He's everything. But yet at the same time, he's nothing. Some chronicle my movements, my colors, and my clothes. Some trace the work in progress. Well, it's done. It is done. My soul is cast in crystal, yet unrevealed beneath the knife. All wells are dry, all bread is massed in fungus, and now disease is rife. Will you not run from this and love me one more life? And he repeats those lyrics again. Then we get into the Magog part. In bromine chambers, there will be no mercy, no bitter flagellation for your sins, no forgiveness, no sackcloth can cease the dance of ashes on the wind. Like, you can be sorry all you want, you can beat yourself in, your sinful nature, you can ask for forgiveness, you can dress in sackcloth, dance in ashes, but it doesn't matter. None of that can cease the dance of ashes on the wind. None of that can stop whatever this force is. Too late now for a wish to change all wishing. Too late to change, to breathe, to grow. Too late to smother out the telltale footprints which mark your passage through the graying snow. Too late to smother out the telltale footprints which mark your passage through this graying snow. Like, you can't, it's too late to cover your footsteps in the snow. As in, there's no way back? Maybe, listen. I'm genuinely at a slight loss on this one. All right, so I do know that Gog has like a religious context, Gog and Magog. Hold on. Let me check here really quick. Hold on. Let me bring you back. All right, so let me give that a refresh really quick. Gog and Magog are a pair of names that appear in the Bible and the Quran, variously ascribed to individuals, tribes, or lands. Gog is an individual and Magog is his land. Okay, well, that makes sense. If we look back at the lyrics, this clearly describes, the second part clearly describes a place, and this clearly describes a person or an individual. Jewish tradition has long since changed Ezekiel's Gog from Magog into Gog and Magog. Oh gosh, there's a lot. I'm obviously not going to read all of this, but yeah, there's a lot. The Gog prophecy is meant to be fulfilled at the approach of what is called the end of days, but not necessarily the end of world. Jewish eschatology viewed Gog and Magog as enemies to be defeated by the Messiah, which would usher in the age of the Messiah. One view within Christianity is more starkly apocalyptic, making Gog and Magog allies of Satan against God at the end of the millennium, described in the book of Revelation. So I feel like he's taking this religious idea and these religious figures of Gog and Magog, or Gog from Magog, and using that to... I don't know. I'm I'm really not sure. He's using it for something. Whether he's, yes, in a sense, telling a direct tale of them in certain ways, personified from himself, or using them to represent something. Is there anything else in here that helps us with that? Gog is a particularly intense and demonic song featuring strong and aggressive vocals. No, there's nothing here for me. Okay. Well, listen. Sometimes the mystery is part of the fun. And I don't know. I don't know. I can say that's a hellish good time. That's all I can say. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments down below. Hope that you enjoyed it. I know some of you skipped around. That's okay. I'll allow it. As if I couldn't. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the album, Peter Hammill. That's the ending. I have nothing else to say. Great time. See you later.